What's up, guys? This is your boy G back in another video. Alright, so today we're gonna open up this WEWATCH Smart 1080p projector, model number S1. Shout out to WEWATCH for sending me this projector. If you haven't checked, I believe I already unboxed a projector from WEWATCH as well. I believe the model number of that is V50, if I'm not mistaken. That's really a popular one, a really good one. I'm gonna put in the description below and probably somewhere here. But yeah, go ahead and check it out if you haven't checked that out. But this is the updated version, or kind of like a successor, right? A higher tier of their projection. And this is a native 1080p projector, but this support 4K, right, resolution. So we're going to test that out, of course. So again, model number is S1. It's audible, so you don't have to worry about that one. 100 watts, and then this is the dimension if you want to check that out. So let me go ahead and inspect what's inside of this box. By the way, if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, please consider subscribing. I unbox a lot of stuff, you know, gadgets that I purchased myself or companies sent me, as it may help you on your purchase decision. So before buying a product yourself, you can check it out, you know, what's the content of, you know, what's the unboxing experience, right? What's the content? So if you're wondering if it includes something, you will basically see that right away, or you'll have a good grasp, you know, on the performance and whatnot, and make you decide if you're gonna purchase it or not. It still included this RCA cable. It has this remote control. It doesn't feel like it has a battery on it. Very light, so you'll have to purchase your own battery. But it's accepting AAA as usual. It's pretty simple. Of course, you do have the power cable, right? This one is an included HDMI cable as well. Actual power supply is built into the projector because it doesn't have an external brick. Of course, you do have the user manual here. Cleaning cloth here for the lens, but you can keep that for your mobile phones if you want. But the actual projector is covered by this plastic. It's not heavy, right? If you expect that it's so heavy, it's not. This is the lens in front. Underneath, of course, you have the tripod or the mount there, the stand mount rubber feet on the bottom. From the left side, you do have this, I suppose this is like an intake, right? Because you can see this is screw. You can remove and clean that filter up, but there's a filter like a foam inside. I don't know if you can see that, and that means it's just gonna intake some cool air, and then cool the inside, and then exhaust it probably here, right? Yeah, this is the exhaust. As you can see, there's like heat sink, the fins, so it's gonna exhaust hot air there. Now, what's interesting to me is the power is connected on this side, not on the back, right? And then the port are connected to this side. Of course, for the connector, input, output, you do have the headphone connector if you want to put some headphone on that. You also have the audio video cable, again, that I showed earlier. You have a TF card, right? Or this looks like a micro SD card. So you can put like a micro SD card on this right away and play it off that card. That storage, that's pretty neat. Don't need to have that, but you do have it here. You have one HDMI connector. You have USB connector, one USB-A, and then VGA if you fancy old stuff, right? You're probably not gonna need it, but again, you have that if you choose to use that. On the back, you also have like an infrared sensor like this, so you can place it in front or in the back. And then you have these speakers, two speakers, so that's kind of like gonna produce a stereo effect there. Finally, from the top, you have this stuff: power it on, menu, back and forward, and then directional buttons and OK or confirmation. Of course, you have this lens that still have this manual focus that you can see here. I can still you know, move it mechanically for the focus, but we will check that later on what option it will give once we already tested it for performance itself.
phone. But there are two real upgrades to this phone. Now keep in mind, this is replacing a Galaxy S22 Ultra.
All right, so let me show you the UI. This is the UI of the projector right now. So as you can see, there's like a couple of tabs on the top, but the very first one is search. You know, if you just want to search for your recent app or whatever that you would like to search, followed by home. This is just the default view for the home, most recent apps, trending apps, you know, connected to the internet. And then you have apps, right? Kind of like redundant, but that's the list of your apps now. You will see all of the installed and the available one in the store. Next is video, the same, you know, it's just segregated to the video, and then the other one is music. So those are basically just app, you know. But you can also go to the settings, of course, the last one. Now you do have two options here, or two settings, right? Settings and then options. Now let me first check the options here. It's just actually three section. Just will show you the terms of use, privacy settings, and the ad, you know, like advertisement, right? Ad settings. I don't know what this is for. I think, you know, because it's just like a freeware, so it has ads. But if you go to the settings here, this is where your configuration are located. So you have projection, network, language and input, date and time, other settings, about. So let's go ahead and check it one by one. On the projector settings or projection settings, you do have the projection mode, of course. Front table, rear, you know, if you want to put in the ceiling or something. You have, of course, zoom, digital zoom, in and out to 100. You also have a vertical correction. You also have the horizontal correction. That is now from side to side, right? So pretty much the same as the other one, in case you will put your projector kind of offset, right? Not in the dead center. Corner correction here. This is like the four keystones, right? And it's pretty good if you really want to adjust all of the corners, the shape of the actual projection. You also have that option there. Last is keystone correction reset. If you just want to reset it to its default settings, you know, redo everything you've done. By the way, it's detecting 5G, right? I just noticed it's detecting 5G or 5 gigahertz connection, so that's pretty good. Of course, you have Bluetooth settings if you want to connect a Bluetooth headset or something. Application management is exactly for that, for you know, to manage your application. You have language here if you want to change it to something else. Those are the language options that you have. And then, of course, date and time, you know, if you want to auto obtain from the NTC, other settings where you can just kind of like play around, right? On the boot signal. This is pretty good, you know, like what signal you would like to load first whenever you turn it on. It's pretty good because even Wanbo doesn't have this. So I mainly use HDMI connection because I have a Fire TV. Everything that you've seen so far from the video earlier are actually from Fire TV launching YouTube, right? And of course HBO Max, or sorry, HBO Go for The Last of Us. But those are running at 4K resolution for the Fire TV. That's why the YouTube also runs at 4K. Now, lastly, you have the about, just giving you some information like the memory. You have 1 gig, and then the storage is 8 gig, right? Pretty minuscule, but that's what you've got. You have USB port on this one anyway. All right, now the problem about this, this is the built-in UI, as you can see, right? If we were gonna launch YouTube, you would notice that even though I launch 4K, right, content, it's actually not on 4K. You know, that's the weird thing about it. I guess it's just the certification or something of the actual smart, you know, capability of it. You would notice here it's just running on 1080p, right? Instead of 4K. Now this is even 8K, right? This video, specific video, is definitely 4K, but this one is just running at 1080p, like it's native resolution. Now Netflix on this is not good as well. It's the mobile version, so just heads up. It's like the you know, inexpensive smart projectors out there. Their built-in is not really good. Even Wanbo, that is expensive than this, you know, more expensive than this, the smart capability is not really great. So if you're purchasing this, I would really recommend for you to have like a Fire TV or an external HDMI source, which is going to be a lot better than the built-in ones. All right, last thing I'm going to show you is if you press the picture button on the remote, you will have options like this to adjust some colors in your screen. This is for the HDMI or in your external input. So the very first one, you have image mode. So if we're going to check out how different it is from one another, so this is standard, this is light, soft, and personal. So it looks like the soft is actually better, depending on your lighting condition. But you can go to personal and adjust a couple of stuff here: brightness, contrast, saturation, sharpness, and hue. So it has that on board. All right, so of course you also have color temp here. So typical cold, normal, warm, and personal. So I just choose normal. It depends on you. Warm looks good as well. Now next to that is sound mode. You can adjust the speakers, I can tell you though that the sound, the built-in speaker is not that great, so you would rather use an external, speaker or something. You also have that surround sound here if you want to enable that or off. But again, sound is a little bit teeny. You have aspect ratio, of course. You leave it in auto or 4:3 and 16:9, and lastly, or you also have shutdown timer. And then, of course, the projection settings that we saw earlier on the settings. All right, but that's all for today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Overall thoughts for this, it's pretty good, for the price that it offers. Because again, a lot of projectors out there are very expensive. Now this one is fairly cheap, again, in less than 10,000 pesos, you will be able to purchase this. And this is 1080p by native already, and even supporting 4K, as you've noticed. And it's not 720p like others, and then for the brightness itself, is actually pretty bright, honestly speaking. It's very bright even at times. So the Wanbo that I have is darker than this, but I think that's sharper than this because of the dark, because of it's a little bit darker. But this one is really bright, so this is good for brighter rooms, My bedroom, as you notice, is really designed to look like a theater already. It's super dark. I even have like blackout curtains on this one. But if your room is a little bit brighter, this is actually highly recommended because it's super bright. So it will definitely work without any problem on bright areas, But for the price itself, it's a pretty good, hard to beat product. I'm glad that we have projection or projectors like this, on a fairly low amount, but it's producing really good, quality, You can enjoy watching like cinema quality at home. You don't need to go to theaters or spend money in every movie, watching. So I'm just glad that we have projectors that are affordable like this one. But that's all for today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Click the like button if you like this video. Comment down below if you have any questions, any comments regarding this videos or this video or any other videos that I've created so far. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed yet. I review a lot of products, unbox and review specifically or especially Steam Deck, PlayStation 5, and some gadgets like this one. So subscribe if you're interested in gadgets, so you would know, and that might help you in your purchase decision. But again, that's all for today. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe and see you on my next one. Peace.